She a little ratchet, yeah, but I'm still gonna smash it.
Yo, what's going down? It's your boy, the young boss hog, Natomas Slimm, and we chopping up game with the legend himself, Krayzie Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Krayzie, thank you so much for coming on. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes, indeed, man. All love. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. I hope you're holding it down during this quarantine, man. How you doing during the quarantine? You holding it? You
Man.
holding up?
Oh yeah, man. You know, ain't nothing else you can do right now. You just gotta take it day by day. When everything goes back to normal, that's when it goes back to normal, you know?
Oh man, I definitely understand that. Sometimes it gives you a good time to spend with the family and stuff like that too. I know that's what I've been doing,
Yeah.
spend time with my kids, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
that's always good. So
I
Craig, most people know you from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Thuggish Ruggish Bone,
mhm.
Crossroads, so many hits. We could go on and on and on. But not a lot of people know the origin story of Bone, of how y'all got together, all five of you, Crazy, Lazy, Wish, Flesh and Bone, Busy. How all y'all got together. Can you give like just a short, condensed version of how Bone became Bone?
Yeah, well, man, you know, as everybody know, we started out in Cleveland, Ohio. I met Lazy Bone and Flesh and Bone in junior high, 7th grade. You know, and we met each other in the 7th grade, and we formed a group called the Band-Aid Boys with another cat we went to school with named K Chill. And you know, we started gaining like a little popularity in junior high school, but we was called the Band-Aid Boys. You know, and so as we went on and went through high school, me and Lazy we really stuck to the whole rap thing, and it was just me and him for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Crazy and Lazy, and you know, we used to get into all kind of like talent shows, and we had built a little name for being like a duo, me and Lazy Bone. And so we met Busy in high school, and you know, Wishbone is Lazy and Flesh's cousin, so he always been around anyway. So he was like, he finally joined the group, and we was called Bone Enterprise in Cleveland. We put out a local album called Faces of Death. It did pretty well. It took us to the point of we knew that after putting that album out, you know, we had to leave Cleveland to further our careers, because if we wanted to make it, because the music scene in Cleveland was like, it was a scene, but it wasn't nothing like New York
Mm.
or California, you know what I'm saying? So we knew we had to get up out of there. So we came up with the idea to go out to Los Angeles, because Flesh was out in California going to school at this time. And we got the idea to go out to Cali to pursue our rapping, you know what I'm saying? And we had the intentions of trying to hook up with Eazy E, because we was big fans of the West Coast rap, the NWA, and everything that came from that, you know, Above the Law, and you know, we even loved the Death Row music that was coming up out of there, you know what I'm saying? So when we but we was determined like to hook up with Eazy E. That's what's crazy about the whole thing. So we go out to California, we take one-way bus tickets out to California, and you know, we out there for like 6 or 7 months trying to hustling, trying to, you know, trying to rap for anybody. It's like we was out there rapping. We walked to Tone Loc house one time, knocked on this door, rap for him. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
We used
y'all
to,
walked to Tone Loc's house and was all like, "Yo, Tone Loc, what's up?" and
it,
just started rapping?
yeah, we walked to his house. Tone Loc didn't actually say nothing the whole time. His manager came to the door, and Tone Loc just came to the door like while we was rapping, and he heard us rapping. He turned around, went back in the house. But you know, we was out there hustling, man, and we was out there for like 7 months, and then we got a call back from Cleveland, where somebody told us that Eazy E had a concert. No. He gave us the number to Ruthless Records. It was a person we worked with in Cleveland for our on our local album. So he called us, was like, I got the number to Ruthless Records, and he gave it to us, and we started calling Ruthless Records every day. And the same secretary would answer the phone, and she'd be like, I'll give him the message. I'll give him the message. And then, you know, one day we called, and she was like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I have Eric call y'all back today because y'all been calling every day at the same time for like 2 weeks straight. You know what I'm saying? So she had him call us back, and we answered the phone, and we rapped to him over the phone, and he was like, "Yo," he was blown away, and he was like, "Where y'all from?" We was like, "We from Cleveland," and he told us that he had a show in Cleveland in 2 weeks. So we hustled up some money to get back on the Greyhound and go back to Cleveland because the dude that gave us a number told us if we made it to Cleveland that he'd guarantee us an opening spot on the show. So we hustled up some money to get back to Cleveland. We opened up the show, and after Eazy went on, we kind of camouflaged with his entourage, like we was part of his entourage and made it to the backstage, but they cut us off in the dressing room. So they was just chilling in the hallway, and Yella came outside, and we asked Yella to rap. And he was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And when we started rapping, Eazy stuck his head out the door, and he was like, "Y'all the dudes I talked to on the phone, they rap for me on the phone." And we was like, "Yeah." So we started talking to him, and he was like, "When y'all trying to go back to California?" We was like, "Man, we ready to go right now. We ain't got no luggage. We ain't got nothing. Let us know when we ready to move." You know what I'm saying? And like 2 days later, he had us Greyhound tickets going back to California. And
And the
then when we
rest is history, basically.
yeah, rest is history. He put us in a studio with all these different producers, and we just went to work. He was like taking us around LA, showing us off to everybody, like, "Yo, listen to these dudes." You know what I'm saying? Like just showing us off like that.
Oh man, that is cool. So how was it work? Like how was working with Eazy? You know what I mean? Because Eazy's a legend in the game. You know, like he transformed hip hop. He definitely West Coast hip hop in general. So
Yeah.
how was it having Eazy E? You know what I mean? Mentor y'all basically.
Man, it was for us. It was like a dream come true because, like I told you, we was trying to. That was our goal to link up with Eazy E. So when it actually happened, we were stunned, you know. And when he was coming to pick us up every day, and just coming to pick us up in the Benz every day, like we was like, "Yo, son, this is Eazy E picking us up every morning from an apartment he got for us." You know what I'm saying? We was tripping. So I mean, but like, man, just being around him, like, you know what I'm saying? He was a real businessman. He was a visionary. You know, he was mysterious. You know what I'm saying? He always had that mysterious, uh, dynamic about him, man. And he was very smart. You know what I'm saying? He may not have been like considered the best rapper, but his brains and his vision made up for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Oh yeah, definitely understand. Speaking of legends, so y'all worked with a lot, man. A lot of the greats, like truly greats. You know, goats, Easy, Biggie, Pac. How was it? You know, working with Biggie and working with Pac. Like, how did y'all be able to manage that? Because you know, during that time, it was either you was either rocking with Pac or you were rocking with Biggie. How were y'all able to, you know, thread that needle?
Man, you know, cause we looked at it, we was fans of Pac before we got into the game. You know, just from Cinnamon Juice and having his first album, and seeing him rock with Digital Underground. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was fans of Pac, so uh, and we came up with Big. We came up around the same time as Big. You know, we used to do the same radio shows. Every time we went on the road, we saw him and Junior Mafia. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm.
hung out with him and whatnot, but it was like we wasn't picking sides. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we felt like that wasn't our business. That wasn't our beef. You know, so why would we jump into something like that? Like, for real.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, guess that Bone and Biggie, man, like Bone and Biggie, Thug Love, those are great songs. You know what I mean? When those things come on, everybody rocks with it.
Oh
So,
yeah.
you know, let's start with Bone and Biggie. You know what I mean? Were y'all in the same studio with that thing? Because I know back then y'all had to be kind of be in the same studio rocking with
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah. We was in the studio. We was all in the studio with Big. With Big, we got the call from Pete, from Diddy. He hit us up. Told us that Big wanted us on the album, and we was like, man, say no more. We coming through. You know what I'm saying? And when we when we got there, uh, Diddy had the V playing. It was like, yo, this beat is crazy. You know what I'm saying? We went in there, did what we had to do to get our minds right. You know what I'm saying? Went in there and laid the hook down. The It's Bone and Biggie, It's Bone and, you know what I'm saying? We did all that. And man, we started laying the verses down. And Big sat there the whole time, like just like listening and like studying it and just, you know what I'm saying, just rocking with it. Then he was like, I'm gonna take it home. I'm gonna take it home and work on it. You know what I'm saying? And we actually didn't hear it till after he passed away and the album came out. So we actually
Oh,
didn't hear his verse. Yeah, we didn't hear his verse, you know what I'm saying, till after he passed away.
man. Well, man,
Yeah.
he got down too. And I know when I was listening to Biggie, like Biggie, I feel like he changed his flow up because y'all was on it. You know what I mean? Because Biggie really didn't have that fast, choppy, you know,
Yeah.
flow to it. And I feel like he changed it to so it complemented it, like everybody complimented each other in that.
Yeah, he did, but he killed that though. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
I
he did.
was really impressed. You know, when we did hear the verse, I was very impressed. You know, you know, from him not rapping like that to him switching it up and sounding dope. I
Yeah.
love
No.
how he killed it. He killed the song for real.
Oh, oh, definitely did. So now let's move to Pac. How did y'all get that Thug Love on that?
Man, well, you know, we had been running in the park in traffic like a few times, you know, and it was always like, you know, we need to get in the studio, we need to do this. And every time we saw each other, we was like, yeah, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. The thugs need to, you know what I'm saying, unite. And one day, him and Busy was out here, and I guess they was in the same studio, happened to be, and you know, they just pulled a beat up, and you know, him and Busy started the song, and then when we came to the studio, we heard it. We was like, yo, it's over. You know what I'm saying? It's over. You know what I'm saying? We locked it out. And because it's crazy because we actually recorded that song first.
Oh,
Yeah. We recorded that song first, and then Pac passed, and then we did the song with Biggie, and then he passed away.
man. So how was it working with Pac? Like, how was Pac in the studio? Like, how's it working with him?
Man, Pac energy is, you know how he in the studio when he creating, his energy is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I'm saying? Like the vibe is always crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's good. So, uh, Bone Bone been around for a long time, and y'all been around, and y'all had a few beefs back in the day. Because I remember way back, I think it was y'all had one with Twista way back. I know y'all squashed it, but what was that about way back then? Y'all and Twista, it was like Twista and Do or Die, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man, it was all over nothing. Oh, over nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just on some young, you know, we was all young at the time, you know, felt like, you know, this is us. Man, you know how it is. You know how the beats
Yeah.
go, the little riffs go and all that. But you know what I'm saying? When we started getting older, we was like, yo, what we even beefing for? You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
it's really not that serious, you know, when we are in here trying to eat, trying to get money, you know, so it was really no need for it. We all squash. I'm cool with everybody. Cruising Conflict, Do or Die, Twista, 3 6 Mafia, we all good.
No. Oh yeah. I mean, like you said, when you're young, you look at stuff, you be like, nah, this is me. And then you get older, you're like, hey, we all trying to eat here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there's no reason for any of this, man. Money
yeah,
out there.
definitely. For sure.
Yeah. So let's move on to you, man. Your solo album, Thug Mentality. To me, that's one of the most underrated albums that nobody ever talks about. Like that was banger from beginning to end, all of it. And if I'm not mistaken, it went platinum too, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, platinum album. So how was it working? You know, venturing off from Bone and doing your own thing because at that time Bone was still y'all was still super popping at that time, and you still, you know, ventured off and did your own thing and was still able to be super popping on your own. So how was it, you know, going in the studio just with yourself?
Man, it was it was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was a little different when it came to the verses because you know I had to do all the verses, but you know I was used to going in the studio with Bone, laying down the foundation of the song, laying the hooks, and you know what I'm saying, doing that. So once I got the hooks down, I just, you know what I'm saying, buckled down and got them verses out. You know what I'm saying? It was a real cool experience because it showed me myself that I could, you know, maintain a whole album on my own. And it was a double CD, so you know I had a lot to say, had a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
It was a double C. Yeah, man, that was when people used to really put down a lot of tracks. It wasn't the 7, 8 songs. No, you had 20 plus
Oh
on
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That's that creativity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you really had to know what you're doing then.
Exactly.
So let me just scoop back a little bit, back to your Eazy E times. So when y'all was rocking with Eazy, you know what I mean, Eazy was still kind of had his beef with Death Row and stuff. How were y'all able to stay out of so many people's problems? You know what I mean? Because usually when you rock with somebody, it's like, hey, you can't rock with, you know, you can't rock with these people. I'm on this side. You got to pick sides. How are y'all so much able to be like, hey, man, we cool with everybody?
Man, because you know, man, I mean, it's just I don't honestly. It was just because we just kept it real, man. You know, of course it was things said, little jabs taken, and from Dogg Pound and our songs and their songs. You know what I'm saying? Sure, but you know, we was Easy told us from day one that he didn't want us involved with the whole ruthless death row thing because he was like, you know, the media the media is pumping it up. You know, they making it seem like it's ruthless and death row when it's really a Dr. Dre and Eazy E misunderstanding.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot. And then, you know, like I think the media even helped to spill it out of control, you know what I'm saying? But man, we always Easy told us, you know, he was like, man, I got different plans for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like going a total different direction than all this. Y'all need to stay out of trouble. That's why he didn't let us go back to Cleveland. He kept us in LA, like no matter how many hotels and apartments we tore up and got kicked out of, he would not send us back to Cleveland. He was like, no, cause y'all won't get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So he just put up with us, man, and you know, told us don't get involved with none of the craziness, and you know, we all that eventually blew over because you know we even, you know, Daz Corrupt and Snoop, you know what I'm saying? They all family, you know what I'm saying? So it's a wonderful thing. Like rest in peace, Nate Dogg, Warren G. We cool with the whole squad, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We get money together all the time, for real.
And that's how it should be, man. No, I always
That's
tell a lot of the little homies coming up in the rap game, I'm like, y'all need to model yourself after Bone. I was like, Bone had their own style, own vibe. They didn't cause problems with anybody. You know what I mean? Like they were, and they still made money, made good music. Was all about the, you know, they had lyrics. If you was able to listen and hear
yeah,
it,
exactly.
because y'all really have bars. You know, most people just think that y'all are harmonizing and just not saying nothing, but y'all are lyrical. You know, like that
Oh
Thug
yeah.
Mentality album is a lyrical album. So on lyrics, like who influenced you? Like who influenced Krayzie Bone to so you'd be like, yo, this is something I want to do, or you saw somebody rap and was like, and you
Yeah,
know, who hyped one into the game.
well, hip hop. I mean, well, what turned me on to music, of course, was Michael Jackson. But what turned me on to hip hop, you know, my brother brought home the LL Cool J album Radio, and you know, I took the cassette tape and I played it over and over again. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then you know, I wanted to learn the songs, so I started writing down the lyrics to his songs. And as I was writing the lyrics to his songs, I was like, yo, I, I think I can write my own rap because I'm seeing the pattern of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
so I started writing my own raps, and I just never stopped then, you know what I'm saying? And I was influenced by LL Cool J, Run DMC, Big Daddy Kane is one of my all-time favorites. You know, all of them, Slick Rick, Dang the Dang, man, like a lot of the old schools, Rakim, like a lot of them do. Everything that came on that from like the 80s all the way back to Sugar Hill, all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, I consider myself a actual student of the culture, you know what I'm saying? Have studied it ever since I was young, for real. I'm the same age as hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So I've studied it, for real.
Oh man, that is so. How did Bone get that harmonizing sound? Is that something that just organically came, or was somebody like, hey, I think we should, try to stand out from everybody else? How did y'all get that harmony? Like, how did y'all
Man,
get that sound?
man, that like you said, organically came. That came from us like just being together every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like just knowing each other, like, because it was a point in time when we was coming up to where we all stayed at one of our parents' house. Whether they all stayed at my mama's house or we all stayed at Wish's mama's house or we stayed at, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like, it was a time in our lives when it went down like that, because we was bouncing from place to place. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to do our thing. So we was always around each other, and when we would rap, we knew each other's rhymes. So when we did the ad libs and we drug them out, it sounded like we was harmonizing because we all did it at the same time. And then when we started catching on to what we was doing, we would start, like critiquing it, making it sound like more singing. And, just over time, it like people was telling us like, yo, y'all dudes like the ghetto temptations, like the hip hop temptations around here, like for real. That's what people would tell us, and like we just start like just critiquing the style.
When Bone was popping off, when did y'all realize like we could do this? Like we got something here. You know what I mean? Like when did y'all realize like this we got something on our hands? What song was it where you was like, oh, we're going somewhere?
Man, it was like early on, like after first of the month, and you know what I'm saying, it when we would see the reactions from the crowds that we went to, even in Europe, you know what I'm saying? Like like people was calling us by our first and last names over in Europe. I'm like, yo, son, he's calling about my government. You know what I'm saying? Like, how they know that? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So we was tripping. So like just seeing like the crowd reactions and like even to this day from our music, like just the love that we get when we go overseas and do our shows. It's just like the love is it's amazing.
Oh man, that is good to hear, man. Like, okay, so sorry about all these questions, man, but there's
So,
y'all
man,
have so much of a long career. There's so much to dive into. You go from album to album to Art of War, but just we can step back to Easy one more time. So what did because I was watching Straight Outta Compton,
mm-hmm.
the movie Straight Outta Compton. I know a little bit about Easy and stuff, and some of that stuff I was like, this ain't what really happened, especially at the end of it when Easy unfortunately passed away, and then they handed him the Bone album. Like, and I was like, no, Bone was already popping when Easy passed. It wasn't as if y'all was just had a demo CD and they're like, oh, we know these people. Like y'all been around Easy for a long time before Easy unfortunately went away. How did you feel about the movie Straight Outta Compton?
Well, what it was it wasn't our first demo. It was the finished copy of our album East 99, East 1999. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because Easy had started out working on the album with us, but like as we were going, because Easy was supposed to be on the song Mr. Bill Collector. That's right before he got sick. And we was waiting for him to do his verse because we hadn't seen him in a while, and then we hadn't seen him in a while, and then we had actually packed up and went back to Cleveland before we had even knew anything was wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? So it was like when we heard, I actually heard about it when I was in Cleveland and I saw it on MTV News.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I was like, yeah, we weren't told nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's just how it went down.
Oh man. Dang. Ah. So what happened? What did Easy mean to you and Bone and stuff like that? Because for hip hop, Easy meant a lot, especially for West Coast. You know, out here in Cali, Easy
Oh yeah,
was, you know, Easy was the man. Easy does it. You know? And, but for you and for Bone, like what did Easy mean to y'all?
man. You know, just what he meant to California, man. You know, I followed NWA from when they first came out. You know, we used to have college radio back in Cleveland, so that's what I used to listen to to know what was going on everywhere else. Because you know, in Cleveland we didn't get that much, so I'm listening to the college stations, and I knew he was responsible for a lot coming out of the West Coast when nobody else realized that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he is definitely West Coast culture, along with NWA and Ice-T and all those pioneers and all those dudes who like, you know, came out representing back then. But man, I mean, he the godfather of gangster rap, for real. That's what it is.
That's the truth on that one. So I'm about to throw you a little curveball right here, Krayzie. So when Busy and Lazy got into their little spat with 21 and Migos, how did you feel about that?
Man, you know, I really wasn't. I mean, you know, I'm a back and represent my brothers no matter what. You know what I'm saying? But that's not really what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, like I don't care what people say. I don't care what people think they are. You know, if they're the greatest or not. That's really not something that's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing other things, trying to do other business moves, and I'm really not caring who, because everybody think they're the best. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you're
Everybody
supposed
think they're the best.
you're
You
supposed
ask me, I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? So we can sit up and argue all night on that. So I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about to, like bite into something like that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm representing Bone Thugs all day long, for real.
because I know
But
people.
I sit I sit on the sidelines and watch that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a
Yeah,
spectator.
because I know people are like, yo, they don't want Crazy to get in this. It was like, if Crazy hop inside this, it's gonna be a murder scene.
Man, I mean, now if we talking doing something lyrical, all day long, man. You know what I'm saying? I love a good challenge, you know what I'm
Because
saying, for some
you
fun,
got
man.
because you're a lyricist. I tell people that all the time. I was like, Crazy is a true lyricist, and I was like, if Crazy really put out any type of diss track, he'll be like Eminem and how he goes at people. Like that's the level of lyrics that you
Yeah,
got. But man, but I get what you're just saying. You know what I mean? Like no need
yeah,
to hop into stuff. And I think I saw an interview with Busy, and Busy was all like, "Hey, that was just all fun and games. It was just having
yeah, yeah. I mean, as long as you look at it like that, I mean, because just like I said, man, you know what I'm saying? For real.
yeah, definitely, man. So Crazy, I don't want to keep your time. I know you got things you want to do, but what do you got going on? So let's do current right now. So what's current Crazy doing right now? You got any projects coming up? Got any business
Yes,
ventures?
indeed. Yes, indeed, man. I'm currently working on getting ready to release my strain, my cannabis strain, Leaves of Legend. It's a new brand. You know what I'm saying? Very, very prestige. Man, it's very, very high quality. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very potent. You know what I'm saying? It'll be out at the end of this month. It's called Leaves of Legend. I'm also working on a few projects. Working with a few artists. I stay on music, man. So I'll be making announcements about things that I'm releasing and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I got just one question for you right now. If there's a current artist who's your favorite current artist that's out right now? Newer artists.
No artist, man. Current, I say, like cats like Kendrick, J. Cole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rocking with them all day, for sure.
For sure. All right, Krayzie. Well, man, like I said, I don't want to keep you hanging. I definitely appreciate you taking time out to speak with me. You know, I mean, Sacramento got so much love for you, man. We got love for Bone, man. Next time y'all out here, you got to come through the studio. During this quarantine, nobody could come through. My fault on that one, but
All good, all good.
and next time y'all got a show out here in Sacramento, you gotta come through the station and say what's up and everything, man. But thank you so much for coming on, Krayzie. Appreciate it.
All good, man. Much love, bro.
Same to you. Well,
Yes,
that was Krayzie Bone, y'all. We out of here.
She a little ratchet, yeah, but I'm still gonna smash it.